It's just going to be hard for the Pacers to get back to level set because Milwaukee, Giannis, out. Number one seed, Cleveland, hurt. Both teams, Milwaukee, Cleveland,
and
Knicks, just not a good.
Undermanned.
Yeah, just not a good matchup. Now they are getting ready to see the best defense that they have ever seen.
Let's start with the NBA. So I got the chance to. First of all, I wish Jason Tatum didn't get hurt. I don't want to see anybody get hurt at all. But I also would be much more excited to see the Celtics playing OKC than the Pacers playing OKC. So what are your thoughts on where we are with the finals, Pacers, OKC? Where are you at with the whole thing?
Even if you look at the NBA finals, say the last 10 years, and not necessarily the finals, just look at the playoffs. Every other year, there's significant injuries in the playoffs that really help a team get to the finals or help a team become champions because they are facing less opposition along the way. Now, that's part of it. But in this situation, I could understand defending champs, the Celtics, not being at full strength, not necessarily playing well coming down the stretch. But we miss it on OKC. Like, they've been historically a great team. And I think because of the optics in the NBA and because of the lack of emphasis that's put on the regular season, they had record number of blowout wins over 20 points. Top 7, 8 categories defensively, they're number one. They got 2 starters, all defensive team. They got the MVP of the league. They got the most wins. They got an unbelievable home court advantage. They got 2 people that come off the bench that play unbelievable defense that they could be all NBA, and Caruso and the other guy. So we just missed it. Now you start to look, so now I'm only looking at 4 teams. Now I'm only looking at 2 teams. And you can say the same thing with the Pacers. Their skill, their ability to make teams uncomfortable and speed them up and make them play fast, that's their strength. But when you're looking at the whole league, you're not looking at OKC. They're the best team in the league. Really? They've been really, really talented. But this is only the second final they've been to. Yeah. With all the MVP, all the all-star players that they've had there in OKC. So it's really, a credit to them, their management, the general manager that they have there, that they would be able to get a championship with this team, which comes with less notoriety than the other teams with all the stars they had.
What is holding us back from having NBA basketball, NBA playoff basketball all season long? What is holding us back from letting these guys play basketball, letting them play D'ing each other up, being physical? It's a great product to watch. Players, the association, owners, commissioner, what is dictating the refs doing what they do in the regular season and then not doing that during the postseason?
You can't force the players. The reason why –
Well, somebody's making the refs call the games the way they call them. I mean – this comes down from somewhere. They didn't all wake up one day and be like, hey, bro, let's like.
Well, first of all, the players aren't playing any defense. So they are not challenging the referees the first 41 games to be able to call it like the playoffs.
Okay.
And it's different if you have one player. If you have a guy, say, for instance, a guy like Patrick Beverley, he plays that way all the time.
It don't matter to him.
So the refs know that.
Correct.
Giannis, I would say, is a player. He plays that way, all the time. So the players aren't going to do that. And there's too many games scheduled, so the owners aren't going to decrease the schedule. What they're really trying to work on now is trying to work on, how do we change the All-Star weekend? Because for the rest of the product, we're pretty satisfied with. And now that we've gotten into the playoffs, we stopped talking about all those subjects we were talking about in January and February when the NBA is not at its peak.
Yeah, because and then from an injury standpoint, or even from a depth standpoint, you look at the Knicks. Like, it was hard to watch because Brunson can only play so many minutes.
Yes.
Cat can only play so many minutes.
Yes.
Josh Hart, by the way, who I love watching him play, and offensively, he couldn't make a three-pointer, right? His percentage was horrifically low season, postseason. He's, 6'4"? How tall is that dude? I don't know how he gets that many rebounds he gets. He's an absolute savage. But they had no depth. They're bringing dudes off that Shamat, the kid who hit like 4 threes at the end of the game. And I went and watched him play in person at the Garden in whatever game it was, 5, whatever it was. It's funny how exposed these teams get
But that's what happens when you're trying to put a team together. When they were trying to get Bridges from Brooklyn, and because it's a crosstown rival, they had to pay more for it. They gave up more first round. They paid more for Bridges than someone's going to pay for Giannis.
Then they're idiots.
5 first-round picks, bro.
They got emotional.
Okay, and then when they added Cat, they had to DiVincenzo. They had to trade him.
I know.
So
he'd have been nice to have.
And the shooting.
Yeah, no doubt.
So yes, it's the chicken or the egg. Like, what am I going to do? But the Knicks have long-term problems because you are not going to be able to win a championship with Karl-Anthony Towns, the lack of defense he plays, the lack of mobility, and the stupid foul trouble he gets into.
Correct.
And Brunson. Big body Brunson, say what you want to, but, man, he cannot defend. And he is a liability on the defensive end.
No, you're right. But he can take the ball. He can score.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about that.
He is a dog. But also, like, if your big guy ain't going to back you up.
I mean, I think that the Brunson comparison, and it's not a good comparison on the surface, but when you look at it, remember James Harden. But James Harden's lack of effort on the defense.
Correct.
Brunson's playing hard.
He's giving it everything he's got,
Yeah.
bro. He's got the body he's got.
He's just small.
He's got the body he's got, dude.
But he is a killer.
No doubt. And he ain't small, quick like some other guys. He's just, And watching the Karl-Anthony Towns on top of it, it's like, dude, every time he stands out 5 feet behind the three-point line and got one, because he can take dudes to the hole. Like, he is big, he is strong, he's good with the ball.
Yes.
I agree he don't play on defense, and they seem frustrated because he wouldn't play D and wouldn't communicate on D and wouldn't even try to play D, for that matter. But I'm like, dude, you would score 30-some-odd points a game in the playoffs if you just continued to take the ball to the hole.
Well, this is the thing, though. The reason why he is a problem is because his ability to shoot it from deep. He's one of the best big people, 6'10" to 7-footers, shooting the three-pointer. So, which in turn, when he gets it, people are rushing at him. Now, what he is not good at, he is not a great in the post, on the low box, throw it to him.
Agreed.
Make a move. He takes forever to do it.
Correct.
So it's just perfecting that skill, and they still need another shooter around him.
No doubt. They're missing a lot of pieces. But even when they rush at him, it's like, put the ball on the floor and go. Put the ball on the floor. They're rushing at you, and I get it, but it's like, good Lord,
and he is,
man.
Now, he is special when he's got that jumper going and that straight beeline up and under to the hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's hard to stop.
Yep.
So, all right. So, what are your thoughts on the finals? OKC wins in how many games?
I believe OKC wins in 6 games.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe in game number 6. They'll beat Indiana there. I believe they'll win the first 2. I believe they'll split.
Okay.
Then it's going to be. It's just going to be hard for the Pacers to get back to level set because Milwaukee, Giannis, out. Surprise. Number 1 seed, Cleveland.
Cavs were a mess.
Hurt. Both teams, Milwaukee, Cleveland.
And a mess, yeah.
Hurt. Knicks, just not a good.
Undermanned.
Yeah, just not a good matchup.
Yeah, they're undermanned.
And now they are getting ready to see the best defense that they have ever seen, and especially how they guard on the perimeter. And
it's so weird to me.
And the Pacers have no answer for it.
No.
No.
And it's so weird because you always hear, I've heard forever, defense wins championships, right? In the NBA, when you're actually playing defense and the refs are letting you play basketball, it's going to win a lot of championships. And I mean, who's going to be OKC? All right, how about this? Watching Knicks, watching the Pacers, watching Reggie Miller. You've called a lot of games. You've been in the television game forever. You played a lot of games professionally. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not a Pacers hater. So I didn't hate when Reggie did what he did to the Pacers back in the day. It didn't much matter to me, or did to the Knicks back in the day.
Right.
But Reggie Miller calling the game, Halliburton, all this. Am I wrong in thinking that Reggie got to be more objective, or that shit don't matter?
Well, the truth of the matter is, when you listen to the game, and I know Reggie's history and a huge fan of Reggie Miller, and I've been watching and listening listening for hearing what other people don't hear. And this is one of the rare times I have seen someone broadcast the team that they have an affiliation with, and I thought, I had to ask myself, did he play for that team?
He did a good job. I agree with that. But even Halliburton doing a choke and him pointing at, like him.
But that's, how Reggie handled it and how he handled what a player on the court is doing as a homage to himself. 30 years ago,
I know
that happened. So I thought Reggie was sensational in this playoffs, his insight, understanding the Pacers team and what they did. Because before we got to the Knicks series, we really didn't know who the Pacers were. And I'm a basketball fan. But really what makes them work, especially their role players, I didn't know they shot the ball that well.
Right.
Like I really didn't know they could shoot the ball that well. So I think Reggie did a commendable job in a tough situation. And he's a professional. And, I thought that was as good a job as someone that's made their legacy playing for a franchise, going against another team who he despises for years and calling a game of that magnitude, Eastern Conference Final. I thought it was very, very well broadcast.
Got it. Okay. It was cool. Hey, it was good TV. It was good to watch. And it was a cool celebration, even though it almost went too early when it went to overtime.
Yeah.
It almost backfired.
Yeah, you can't but see, that's why sports is what it is. Not only the bounce.
The bounce. How does that make any sense? How often does that happen like that? You play a lot of basketball.
The Knicks fans, yeah. Normally I play at a rim, but they got the cord up there, so it would have hit the cord. It would have been called illegal and everything. But, seeing the Knicks fans thinking that when it hit the back of the rim, they were still cheering. They thought they had won.
Yeah.
Then it being ruled a two-pointer. They'd be able to go into overtime and then be able to sustain that momentum. Like, that, they lost the series right there.
Agreed.
Giving up that game number one.
Because that happened, changed the whole deal. And them celebrating.
9 points with a minute to go.
And them celebrating after they beat the Celtics, like they won the finals in
Yes.
the city. That was a little bit, you
Yes.
ain't been there in a long time. You just won a series. So they got
and let's not forget now, they come out and lose both games.
I know.
After that huge celebration. I bet it's a great point.
Yeah.
They having parades and everything for second round.
It's over. I thought if you had turned,
and
if
they
I
lose
watched
the
that,
first
I would
two.
have thought if you fast forward in the future, I got to watch that with no sound. I've been like, oh, the Knicks won the fucking championship at the Garden.
If they win one of those,
I know. But like you said, the first one pulled their heart. It yanked their heart out.
Yeah.
They could not damn recover. So Halliburton, he had his old man back there. He freed Pops. He was all excited. You're going to free Pops. OKC's going to free Pops. They're all going to be in Cancun when OKC's done.